as we see a paddle now with a great looking set. We've got another wave opportunity behind for Lucas. We're going to track with Ethan with priority, driving into that first turn. Off the bottom, onto the top, digging that rail in, nearly disappears in the foam with a great face opening up in front of Ewing. Whips it around, and he's going to have a great section to finish off on as he comes into the beach break.
Let's watch the replay. I love this water angle. Ethan compressed off the bottom, carves through the first turn, and have a look at this second carve. Driving it down all the way to the bottom. Keeps the accelerator on, gets back into that power source, and then just some fluid rail work all the way through to the inside. Have a look at Mazinas out the back too. He had a nice looking wave, got some work done in the bowl. Ethan finishing off.
More action. Mikey Wright, 2.83 on his low score. Open with a 6.5. Goes really high off the top of the wave and then crushes the pocket. Off the bottom again, he draws more of a layback carve. Doesn't mind just leaning back into those turns. And now driving into the inside section. Closeout complete for Mikey. His wife loving that performance in the first few minutes. Sometimes it's more nerve-wracking for your family to look on from the stairs, but when you get a quick start, the energy's nice and hot. And Kaipo, from your angle, how do those carves really look? And especially with his style, he doesn't mind leaning back or even laying back into his turns quite often.
Yeah, he's laying back into it, and then there's a little bit of footwork sometimes where he's pushing on the tail, and then coming out of the maneuver, he has his back foot moved up the board just a little bit to readjust before he gets back into a bottom turn. But it is an absolute thing of beauty.
Thanks so much, Kaipo. Bugs, from your point of view, how did this turn into an 8.17?
Yeah, Mikey is having one heck of a heat. The freedom of being the wild card. He operates well from this position. Here's the money turn, an 8.17, and this turn here, he brings it right back. That's got a lot to do with it. Two huge turns on the bowl, really laying it over. As Kaipo said, the angle from the water must be incredible.
As we have another look at this flawless scene in front of us, Bugs.
Yeah, and here we go.
Felipe winding up, hard off the bottom. There's an aggressive forehand carve. Drills it again. Toledo in motion. Nice top turn over the roof. And now setting up the end of this wave. Toledo is a magician in sections like this. He'll just pace with a frontside carve. Now heating up. Looking for a good closeout section. Nice clean off the top. Hits it again. Toledo stays on his feet. His best wave so far. Kaipo, Guerrero, whatever Toledo's riding looks perfect for the conditions today. Really fresh layback approach. Comparing that quickly to Toledo.
Yeah, well, Toledo's just more of a sort of a carving from the top. I mean, he's just absolutely amazing. Three huge moves on the bowl. And then of course he goes to work again. No one does this transitional over the fat section better than Toledo. He always finishes his waves well at Bells, and tell you what, he started this one unbelievably. This is one of the best rides I've seen today.
Tagging his points well. Toledo stays on his feet as we go back to the power of Felipe again.
Yeah, and an 8.83, a well-deserved wave. I thought he just raised the bar a notch on this one, Joe. You got to love it when this man's on fire. He is unstoppable, and this has gone to a new level for sure.
And that will help him consolidate. There's still one more to come before that mid-year cut as we see John Florence in Heat 7 getting things started up against Joao Chianca. And what a combination on the outside. Two monster turns to kick things off. Last time we were here at Bells, John was holding that big trophy and ringing it. He wants to get there again. We missed him last season, but what a way to kick things off. Can he get the finish? He does. You could see him making a huge jump here. He's got a huge task ahead of him, though.
Oh, look at this surfing from John Florence, just laying into those huge turns, the second one in particular. just puts a little bit more emphasis on it. Great rail transitions all the way through to the inside. I love how John just keeps that board flowing. Comes onto the inside section. Hits that foam. He's not done yet. Knows there's some more scoring opportunity.
Oh, here we go. Chianca up now. Still looking for the 787, but that score from John on that previous ride is yet to drop in. Chianca's got a nice steep section. This guy is surfing so fast at the moment through transition. Plenty of spark in this equipment, making an equipment change to what he rode in that opening round where he performed so well. And you've got to say the equipment choice has been spot on. He's just looked electric out there today.
Absolutely incredible. This is great to see the rookie stepping up here and really taking it to John Florence, who would be, in these conditions, one of the clear favourites. And, well, John's on.
Had big wave XXL awards as well. He'd be so proud of what he's seeing from his baby brother here.
Yeah, this is great surfing, and just a little caught up on that under the lip snap and dragging through that that third turn as well. But that one there, that was clean. That was 4 turns on the bowl. So as this tide is starting to drain out, Ron, we're getting more opportunity. We're getting that 3 and 4 turn connection through the bowl.
Wow, just great energy.
Surfing. Yep, good surfing, solid, unrestricted. Beautiful technique there. I love how he extends that back leg towards the latter half of these turns. And again, as we've seen so many of our power surfers dropping that back arm. Just get a little caught up on that third turn, and they're the little finer details that are going to separate Jiao and John's technique here. That was a great turn, nice and clean.
Yeah, the little trip up maybe on the previous move was all but forgotten when he ripped through that manoeuvre. And the way he attacked that last ride, he's going to get close to the number. On the outside though, Florence with a big section. Big transition snap there. Climbs the roof. Great lip line float to project back out onto the open face. Now goes to that trademark layback that just possesses so much power. And he gives a couple of versions of that same turn. He was trying to up the ante on his previous ride, had a 7.5, didn't quite do it. That one will. He almost got the required score. Let's have a look at the replay of John's wave.
Oh, well, John's picked up the biggest wave the entire day, up under the lip, somehow projects out onto the open face. Again, the trademark layback hack. And have a look at this thing to finish off, the biggest section of the day. And when John Florence reacts like that after a wave, you know that he is absolutely stoked with what's going on. And this man who's normally not phased, he's starting to show the emotion. Look at the commitment to this turn. This is just textbook Bell's ball surfing here. Up under the lip, projects out. Timing could be off by a millisecond and he wouldn't have made that turn. Drives around this section. Watch the back arm, throws it in there, jams through it, keeps the rail engaged.
John Florence, you know, if I was going to make a comparison to a previous CT surfer, he kind of reminds me of Taj Burrow. If Taj got that excellent score on his opening ride, he'd just go on an absolute tear. He was a real momentum surfer. John Florence has that similar thing. You know, if he gets going early, you're in so much trouble.
Here we go. He's going to fight back.
Well, he needs to, and this wave has to count. He has to go excellent with this one. Swings the tail around, needs the brake combination on this wave. Couple of big turns to start, huge layback. So much speed. Exiting that turn, he climbs up into the pocket one more time. He had to stuff that extra turn in. He's chasing huge numbers just to better himself.
It's clear now that Jiao Chianca, he's just trying to push it past the point. And unfortunately, that's when those little mistakes start to happen. But, man, hats off to this guy. He is surfing so well.
For the year, Rich, he said he just wants to overcome the expectations that he has from people. He's doing that. I mean, his performances are legendary.
Yeah, this sort of surfing is, you know, this is what we see from the best. This is what we see from the top 5 contenders. And unfortunately, just a little slip up there. But that's just coming from him giving 110%. And, well, look at that, just losing the fins, regaining composure there, and perhaps he just put his back foot off a little bit. And just great technique here, throwing fans into the sky.
He's just not content with put theirs with his snaps. He adds the extras. I just love how high he's been taking his calves. He's in a position where he has to force a couple more turns in on that outside if he's going to break combination here.
Yeah, well, both these surfers are just filleting these waves here. And, you know, they've made sashimi out of the Bell's Bowl because they've just been slicing these waves to absolute pieces. And even with the 4-ron, he's dropped a good number.
Well, this is massive.
Crowd's getting even louder because Fanning's approaching the bowl. Extending the bottom turn, bigger section there. Driving all the way around, roundhouse, cut back. Fanning gets the finish. He's already had the hearts of all the Victorians in this amazing state in Australia. And he'll just keep winning him over turn after turn on the bull bugs.
A bit of a face slap, and then he had to watch this right behind him. Clean Big Bell's face, and Mick just goes to absolute town.
The transition and maneuvers are just incredible. He's showcasing why he's won this event 4 times and has been more consistent out here than anybody else in the last decade. Kanoa's going to lock into this bomb. World number 1 on the windup. Just forces the fins out. He's so good at that. Perfect carve, nice placement there. Digs in a bit deeper off the top. Dealing with those ribs in the face, fins will actually dislodge for a moment. And now off the bottom again, he'll jam that one shut. A little bit of passion and fire out of Igarashi with now 90 seconds to go, Bugs.
Wow.
This is important for world number 1. Needs an 8.94 now, Bugs.
Yeah, and he gets right up over the lip line. There's huge commitment on that first turn. And another carve down. I tell you what, it's a well-surfed wave and a difficult face with a lot of chatter on this wave, Joe.
So much bump on that wave.
Oh my gosh, look at this. And he gets a strong finish too. This will be a good score. Oh yeah, that's a...
He did so well to stay on his board there, but it just didn't have that clean face Mick's had on his 8.77. So, yeah, this is in the judges' hands now, guys.
A guy that works so hard to be in the position that he is in today. As we'll run out of time, Igarashi letting go of all that passion.
Wow.
He had a severe comeback to climb. A little bit of wind on the face, but still incredibly rippable. Robson, deep off the bottom. Nice clean off the top. Driving into the open face, beautiful down carve. Chasing a 6.77. Drills it again right on the money. Nice flow into the top turn wrap. Doesn't look like he's going to have too much downtime. Winds up for the float. Not the easiest section to just grease the float, but he stays on his feet. Great performance for Robson. Hunting down a 6.77. Looked like he really found an easy rhythm and nice pace on that wall buck.
Now this one for Callum, it's a big overhead wave. Laura, this one's looking pretty slick.
Yeah, and he timed it so well here. Huge, big arcing carve, and then comes around and just being able to keep his speed and get 3 of those big turns in to start. Yeah, he's looking so powerful and so solid. And then waiting. This was a bit of a tricky finish here, but he just knew that he had to get over that whitewash and get the completion because, yeah, those extra points.
Well, the points are in the bowl.
And he had so much time to sit on that bottom turn. The timing of just projecting on those maneuvers and also knowing when you have more time to just go straight down with that carve. He did that well, Bugs.
Well, he did it so well that he gets an 8.6 for this wave.
Wow.
Leaned over so much on that rail. Great recovery with that finesse at the end of that carve, Laura.
Yeah, he just gets so low. Look at him, just incredible technique there. Carves it around. Just wanted to get every inch of spray that he could get from the water up into the air there. And, yeah, every bit of that rail into the water.
And now to answer back, will we see a wave into the excellent range, chasing a 707 for Miguel Pupo into the first turn, up hard into the second. A little chatter on the face of this wave. He's doing well to just keep that flow and that power. Now as he checks back to see if David is on the wave behind. And he is. Now into the inside section for Miguel. Great surfing, great finish. As we take another look at this one, could it go into that 7-point range?
Yeah, well, I look, the wave height's there. It's one of the sets. Miguel Pupo just tight under the lip. He's kind of channeling the great Mark Occhilupo on this one. Just that smooth backhand approach. And a little check outside to see what his competitor was doing, and then concentration back on the task at hand. Critical last turn to finish off. That one felt good, and he lets the emotions fly. Watch him sit down on this bottom turn. Holds it, holds it. Now he heads for the sky. Up under the lip. It's a different maneuver when they're sort of slicing off the top as opposed to kind of connecting with the lip and then coming back down. You can't overcook it. Otherwise, you'll end up blasting out the back.
Yeah, now for the judges, paying attention to, you know, really critical maneuvers.
We'll see if Kelly can find an edge with it. He fell on that last ride, and Imai's going to have a shot now at either taking the lead or chipping away at this big requirement. Nice layback. Jam right there and up into the lip again. Fantastic pocket turn.
Whoa.
Connecting with the lip but losing no speed, going to the rail. Has been busy on this ride, multiple turns already, plenty of variation and a clean finish there. 8.1 is the number. Kelly on the outside was up for a moment but kicked out.
Imai might have got there all in one swoop. In my opinion, that's easily the best wave of the heat. That was well surfed. It was a set wave, big moves.
And let's see if their approach is in Imai's style here.
He went straight for the lip on that first one, and then just a great carve and 4 great maneuvers on the bowl. I mean, that is top-notch surfing. 4 on the bowl is right up there.
Right. He just looks stuck to his board running.
He does.
He looks really switched on, not hesitant. He was completely positive. Each move was no hesitation.
How important is this next turn to have in your repertoire when you get to Bells, Ross?
It's a really good jam. It's just a good old back-footed jam right there, and the judges love that. It's really visible. The judges are pretty high up on a cliff, and they're looking down on these surfers. So when you go for those turns that throw water up in the air, it's very digestible. And the other good thing about this wave, Bugs, is he had a little bit of everything. It was a great mix up there.
The riding was unbelievable, but just the commitment on that very first turn when he went straight for the lip. I mean, you just showed this kid has got confidence oozing.
Sure.
He came down the hard way too. Didn't really find the transition he was looking for.
No, this is an amazing one. I mean, he saw Kolohe earlier, and he got sky high, and he had to wrestle it down. And yeah, he acknowledged that. That was a really difficult alley-oop to land. He had to land right in that bounce as the wave broke halfway down the face, and he's super stoked.
Yeah, it calls for the cab, and the numbers coming through. It's looking pretty solid, really lofty. In fact, got to a point in that alley-oop where he was able to tweak that tail a little bit and just accentuated the height. And, I think that was really natural, that claim. I think he surprised himself just how he was able to pull it out of the trough.
Oh, it's so cool. I mean, the judges earlier on with the Kolohe air, they were a little bit they were divided on what they thought of. These guys are really consistent. Like, this is an excellent score, a 917.
Just amazing to see the subtle adjustments he had with the back foot. A lot of times with people executing these airs, we're seeing their boards flutter under their feet. The wind direction still not kind of ideal necessarily for those airs at times. Their boards have been getting away from them, but Jack subtly shifted his back foot around.